4 years ago, it was the brave new world. You know, we'd repackaged and rebadged this thing called cloud computing that has arguably been around for a long time, but just in slightly different forms, and said, wouldn't it be nice if we could switch and mobilize services and not get locked into software, not get locked into infrastructure, and be able to provision in a more agile and lower cost way and create competitive advantage through contestability. You know, being able to switch loads between 3 or 4 different providers within a matter of minutes or hours or days, depending on the type of service. And I've got to say, it's been a fairly lonely and slow 4 years since coming out in a big way, supporting industry buyers to go and buy on a more contestable and mobile and virtual basis. I stood in a hotel room that had mainly CIOs in the audience on the other side of town, and I could tell that at least half the audience thought I was mad and the other half thought it would be nice, but it sounded like a lot of hype. But the blunt message I still have today is that if we continue to try and compute in the way our customers require us on the old infrastructure that we have in-house, we won't be able to afford to keep up and compete. If we try to do analytics the way we have been doing them, if we try to distribute mobile content the way we have been doing it, we can't afford it. And that then begs of the IT organization to understand how value is created in the corporation, how we have a role to play in the new model and reallocating capital more efficiently. Cloud lets us encourage greater contestability among suppliers and therefore achieve greater value. We've actually only done 4 specific things in storage and compute host in the virtualizing of the test and development environments, and to provide some as a service capabilities, whether it's grid as a service, data as a service, or just the plain old anywhere, anytime Salesforce type functionality for different business units. And whilst we've attempted to do that with industry groups such as the ECLC, which we set up with a number of banks and other businesses over in the US through the TM Forum, there are still only 4 or 5 new framework standards that are applicable. We still haven't seen a whole host of companies rush forward and accelerate standard setting or sharing in innovation. So we've still got a long way to go as an industry to put pressure on the sell side. Having said that, we've put plenty of on-premise applications in the cloud. We've done a wide range of development and test and infrastructure and software and storage in the private cloud, and our next challenge is to take that to either hybrid or public. But we, for example, have cut our storage costs by 40% just by setting up contestable service arrangements. The challenges are regulatory and privacy, and particularly data security. As we move as an industry, we've got to make sure that we hold consumer privacy and online data sacrosanct. And there's naturally a cost to doing that. I look about and see there's concern about the way Google and Facebook manage their privacy. I look at the way companies like Mega Upload are treating others' content. I look at the way that privacy breaches at places like Sony and Path have all added to uncertainty and a sense of insecurity among the buying public. The role of a bank has always been about trust and risk management. We have to continue to do that in an increasingly virtual, digital manner whilst preserving privacy. We look at the opportunities around what the World Economic Forum have referred to as the current and growing global volume of digital data will increase at more than 40-fold out through 2020, and they regard this asset as the new oil of the economy. Under 2 themes, they talk about what is the core competence of trust and privacy and security, and how do you translate that into ongoing value. They talk about, in the forum, the Commissioner of Consumer Affairs in Europe is talking about personal data as the new oil of the internet and the new currency of the digital world. And that's really a rehash of what Walter Wriston said back in 1990s about the information about banking, or the information about money, being almost as valuable as money itself. And when I see the onset of the competition that we're getting from the likes of Google and Apple and Amazon, they've got that pretty clear. So they want to own the primary relationship, and that means that they're not necessarily getting into banking or insurance or asset management as such, but they want to know more about each and every one of us in a very rich and responsive way, so that they can direct their customers to better financial services offers that meet those individual consumers' needs.